Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring, snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells time and jingle bell time.
Snap to Hurts. Everybody out for a pass. Hurts in trouble. Being pursued on the play. Hurts is brought down. A sack on the play by the newest Packer, Justin Hollins.
He took a red eye, got here on Thanksgiving, and so Jason Rebrovich did a great job with him, spent some extra time with him, and that's a credit to Rebs and to Justin for being in the situation and knowing what to do.
As the Packers prepare for the Bears on Sunday at Soldier Field in Chicago, the stakes in this great rivalry have been raised just a little bit by a very unique honor.
The Packers-Bears is so historical, over 100 years. The winner of this game will be the winningest franchise in NFL history, so there's a lot at stake.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the rivalry over the years and been a part of a ton of these games. I think I've been in 18 years plus a playoff game. This is the 37th I'll be a part of, and I've enjoyed all of them. It's a great rivalry, been around for a long, long time. Happy to be on this side of it.
Helping Green Bay's effort to notch win number 105 will be the freshly appointed NFL Offensive Rookie of the Month, Christian Watson. Touchdown! Oh, the big playability of Christian Watson. Wow!
There was nothing that happened in practice that clicked. It was just confidence. A confident player can raise the level of their game sometimes astronomically.
Just him being more comfortable with him being himself and playing fast, and we can just see that he's not really thinking or hesitating in a lot of his routes and his decision making. So just seeing the growth of him since camp, really, it's just been great to watch.
Christian Watson, a Lambeau leap.
You happy for Christian getting Rookie of the Month honor?
Yeah, no.
Reaction?
It's super awesome. I think he deserves it, though. He's been balling this last couple of games with just all the productivity he's doing, the touchdowns, and just playing at a high level right now. So it's awesome for him.
What in your mind was the difference between Sunday night, obviously not starting the game, but in that spot? What was the difference between that and last year in Kansas City?
I say I just feel more comfortable. Feel more comfortable, more confident, and I'm just seeing things a little bit quicker, playing at a faster level right now.
Does that also reflect in your command of the huddle? Because it seemed like you guys were working with a lot of smooth operations out there.
Yeah, no, I think everything. Just more comfortable doing everything, play calling, playing, seeing defenses, everything.
I imagine Tuchel is also a pretty big difference compared to Kansas City. Do you feel like you still need that test, or are you looking forward to when they're going to bring the pressure, it's going to not be a prevent defense? How much are you?
Yeah, I think it's obviously a test whenever it happens. You're never really expecting it. You just got to be on your toes for whenever it happens. But I'm confident in myself that I'll be able to handle it, better than I did in those last couple games.
Did you get all the first team reps today? Obviously, Will Fuller said Rodgers going to be limited. Were you in the whole time?
Nope, Aaron was back practicing today. Yep.
What did you see awakening Christian before that, or from that, before that Dallas touchdown to after since? What's awakening him?
Like I said, I just think his confidence. He's playing really confident right now. I think it takes being able to make a couple of those plays out there to be like, okay, I'm good, I belong here, and just have that confidence that your teammates trust you to make those plays.
From a talent standpoint, how much potential does he have?
I think you guys see it. He's a very explosive player. He's super fast, and he's catching the ball really well right now. But he just has a threat that scares a lot of defenses. Be able to take the top off, and
You talk about his confidence. It's something we can see growing week after week as he gets more and more reps. For you, we saw your confidence Sunday night. How nice would it be able to grow that to get a couple weeks in a row of playing time?
Oh yeah, obviously that's what I want. That's the goal. But it's just not the situation right now. So.
How's Romeo looked the last couple of days since he came back?
Romeo obviously coming off the injury. It's never easy, but it's good to see him out there. Good to see him moving around again.
Turns on the Packers' makeover in the secondary are good. Of course, Rudy Ford, starting at safety, is part of the makeover, and safety is a playmaking position, and Rudy makes plays, like right here. Him and Chris Barnes converge on the tackle. Now let's tighten it up and keep an eye on Rudy's left hand. He rakes the ball out, and then he follows with his right hand and rakes some more. That is textbook forcing a fumble, and Quay Walker recovers. Now, let's check out Keyshawn Nixon. More on him in a moment. Back to Rudy. As a team, the Packers have 12 takeaways for the entire season. Rudy, in very limited playing time, has 3 of them, 25%. The other part of the makeover was Keyshawn starting as the nickelback. And as we just saw, whatever he's doing on the football field, it is physical. The Eagles are trying to set up a screen with 1, 2, then the reinforcements, 3, 4, 5 blockers. And Keyshawn is able to blow the whole thing up by ripping through one of those blockers, you can see it right there, and putting the ball carrier in reverse. Let's get physical. Actually, the Packers did a fine job in coverage overall. Watch Ja work against A.J. Brown in a double move. Brown came into the game producing a quarterback rating of 121.3 when targeted. And if you're into analytics, the Packers had the highest rate of any team in perfectly covered plays in Week 12. No, Jalen Hurts didn't beat him with his arm. He beat him with his legs.
It wasn't necessarily the moment, but the over-the-shoulder thing kind of just set this whole month up for you.
I mean, I think it was huge for me in a lot of ways. I mean, I think it was just kind of the beginning of you know, that kind of sigh of relief for me in terms of, you know, just being able to go out there and you know, get that first one out the way, get some of that confidence back that was kind of, you know, stale up to that point in terms of, you know, I just wasn't out there, wasn't able to, you know, do what I'd hoped to be doing. So it definitely was kind of that fire starter for me in terms of just getting that confidence back and obviously, you know, just be able to go out there and, you know, show myself and show everybody, you know, what I can be.
Aaron said more than once that there weren't a lot of signs in practice that this was coming, and I'm sure that you probably felt that too. How'd that feel to be a rookie, to know that there's this out there, but not being able to kind of attain it? How'd you sit with that?
I mean, it wasn't really something that I was thinking of. I mean, I was obviously, you know, I was up and down, you know, obviously with injuries and being out and whatnot. But I mean, shoot, I was still just working every day to just get better and work every day to you know, stay healthy and you know, just be out there. So obviously, you know, sometimes it doesn't, you know, the results don't come right away. I feel like that's just, you know, part of the process. So, you know, I just kept on trusting that in that process and. You know, obviously, you know, still doing that now. You know, I think I'm still a long ways from what I, you know, still want to be.
How did you find out the news today?
I was lifting in the weight room this morning. Hadn't checked my phone or anything before I went in there. And 12 actually congratulated me before I even knew. So he kind of, you know, I don't want to say spoiled it for me, but he let me know. So I mean, it was kind of a, you know, a cool interaction. He congratulated me for that. I kind of was shook for a little. I was like, "What do you mean?" And then he had told me, and it was really cool.
Christian, how cool is this considering where you were at the start of last month, the Detroit game and having to exit there, the Bills game at the end of October where you had to exit there, and getting to where you are now, Rookie of the Month. If I were to tell you that back during the Detroit game when you're itching to get back in the game, what would you have said, and how's it feel now?
I mean, I think the number one thing for me is just, you know, being thankful that, you know, I've been able to stay consistent, you know, health-wise, and, you know, obviously just being able to, you know, just be out there and get that work in. I mean, that was always my number one goal is, you know, obviously dealing with the injuries was just to, you know, I need to stay as healthy as possible. You know, I always kind of believed in myself in terms of, you know, if I'm able to go out there and I'm able to, you know, obviously just play fast and be healthy, then, you know, everything else is going to come with it. So, yeah.
What's next? You going to make Rookie of the Year after the slow start?
I mean, we're going to find out. I mean, obviously, I'm going to keep on pushing to continue, to strive to be the best version of myself. I mean, there's definitely no, plateau in terms of, my work and my preparation going forward. No, contentness with, where I'm at right now. I'm still on the rise.
You carried yourself with confidence all the way through, but Aaron said he saw something unlocked in you when you made that over-the-shoulder catch against Dallas. What did you feel unlocked in yourself kind of in that moment and in the several touchdowns since?
And I kind of just felt that, confidence and that spark just kind of come back a little bit. Obviously I can tell myself all the time that, I got it. But I mean, when you're going such a long time without seeing it, it kind of starts to dwindle a little bit. So it was kind of just like that spark just came back after that one, and obviously it's just been getting bigger and bigger since.
There was a moment in the end zone after touchdown, before backflip, where you kind of turned around and the teammates were coming to say, what was going through your mind in that moment?
I mean, it was nothing crazy right there. I actually turned around just to make sure no one was behind me, so I could do the backflip. I didn't want to do a backflip and have someone coming in, and that would have been bad. But I mean, when you're in that situation, everything kind of slows down. So I mean, I was really kind of just obviously with the celebration, I was just soaking it all in. I mean, the plays happen so fast. Everything kind of slows down, and after the fact. So I mean, I was just soaking it all in.
I think that's called veteran savvy, right? Making sure you don't backflip into somebody.
Something like that. But yeah, no, I definitely did not want to do a flip and land on somebody, or that would have been bad.
Christian, I'm slow, so I want to know, what's it like to run away from two NFL caliber defensive backs like you did against the Eagles? Like, what's it like to see guys with a good angle and good position still beat them?
I mean, it's just, I feel like it's been something I've been doing all my life. Obviously, I've said it a million times. I take a lot of pride in my speed. So, when I see somebody that I think I can outrun, which is pretty much everybody, I'm going to do my best to utilize my speed in that way. I mean, I don't think that, when there's angles and stuff like that and just being in the open field, I don't think that, me making a move is ever a better option. So if I'm able to, just kind of cut off those angles, I mean, speed obviously kills those angles. So it's just a big part of my game.
People talk about a rookie wall a lot. Obviously, you missed some games with injuries, so you haven't had perhaps the wear and tear of others. But playing at the FCS level, having actual playoffs, I think last year your team played 15 games. How much does that help a guy like you avoid a rookie wall, if there is such a thing?
I mean, I definitely think it helps some. I don't want to say a lot. I mean, the intensity of the NFL is a lot different. I think it would be that way, regardless of, where I play, at the FCS or FBS level. I think there's a different intensity in the NFL. I mean, guys obviously fighting for their families, fighting for their jobs, each and every day. So, I mean, it's different for sure. But, I mean, I definitely think it helped a lot, obviously, playing into January, for those national championship runs. I'm used to going for longer stretches. So, I think it prepared me for that for sure. And there's the mental side of things as well.
Don't let this man lie to you about being slow. He's done 10 marathons. All right? That's a true fact.
Sprints.
That's a true fact.
Okay.
When you caught that pass against Philly, were you thinking touchdown right away? Because from above, there's no reason why anyone should be thinking. Two guys have the angle on you, but you've got 4.3 speed. Were you thinking touchdown?
So I mean, when I was going across, I felt the low safeties a little bit. So I actually thought I was kind of going to prepare for that backside safety to come down a little quicker than he did. So I mean, as soon as I caught it, I turned up and I seen that he was a little farther back than I thought. And then I mean, that was as soon as I saw them, I was like, all right, yeah, now it's over. I'm hitting the sideline and I'm gone. But I mean, before I had caught the ball, I definitely didn't think that it was going to be a touchdown. But as soon as I saw how they were their positioning after I caught it, I knew it was kind of wrap after that.
In theory, how much are things going to help not to have Dobbs back out there, another threat on the outside, just help you open things up even more?
I mean, I think it'll be huge. We have a lot of guys in the wide receiver room who I think have the capabilities and the talent to be out there and make plays. So obviously, the more the merrier. And obviously, having seen Dobbs' success earlier in the season, I'm happy I'm going to be happy when he's back out there.
How do the Bears look different on film now versus when you prepared for them a long time ago?
I mean, it hasn't changed too much. I mean, I definitely think you see a little bit more of their tendencies as the season progresses, and everybody is going to change some things up as the season progresses in terms of how well they're doing. But I mean, we still see a physical defense that's going to make a lot of one-on-one matchups and have faith in their guys on the second level. And I mean, they're simple but sound in some ways. So we just gotta continue to do our things and attack that.
Christian, you're one of the few people on this team that's caught a touchdown from both Jordan and Aaron. I'm not going to ask you what's different about them. I want to know what's similar about them, just from a kind of warrior mentality standpoint.
I mean, I think it didn't surprise me because I mean I've been practicing with Jordan and seeing it every day. But I think what surprised a lot of people was his poise back there. I mean, and when you're learning from a guy like 12. I mean, I think that some of that stuff rubs off on you. So, I mean, I think just his kind of 12's confidence kind of rubbed off on Jordan a little bit. And as soon as he was out there, I mean, I feel like you could feel his poise and his confidence back there immediately.
Have you and Dobbs leaned on each other a little bit for support? Obviously, you had to sit and watch him have a lot of success while you were getting back from injury, vice versa now the last few weeks. I mean, just that feeling, that patience and stuff. Have you guys talked about it, had to lean on each other for that kind of stuff?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think I lean on him a lot when I was going out there. I mean, supporting him, obviously, in everything that he's doing. If I'm not able to do it, then obviously I'm going to cheer on everybody else who's doing it. So, obviously when I was hurt, he had my back the whole time. And obviously, since he's been out, I've had his back as well. I'm going to kind of just making sure that he's good mentally. I know he is, but it's always good to check in on and see how somebody's really feeling. But I mean, I know Rome's mentality. He's itching to get back out, and he's doing everything he can to get back out there. So I'm excited for when he is able to.
Christian, you're right up there in touchdowns. I mean, I think you're sixth in the league in touchdowns. You've got more than Jefferson and some All-Pro kind of Deebo Samuels. I was trying to blank on. Is that crazy? I mean, I know you're in the middle of the season. Maybe thought about that at all? That what you've done in the span of 3 games is rivals some All-Pro guys.
I think that's the craziest part. Is just how quickly it's happened, and over this past month is the craziest part. But I mean, I'm just taking it 1 week at a time, and putting in that work, putting in that the preparation and everything I need to do, and whatever happens on Sunday happens. And obviously, I'm thankful for the opportunities. I know it's not always, I'm not always going to have 6 touchdowns every month. But I think it was. You're not? What? I think it was just a flash of what I'm able to do going forwards, and obviously, like I said before, just to boost of confidence for me.
Had it not been for Detroit, we could be saying NFC Rookie Player of the Month, or NFC Offensive Player of the Month, not just Rookie. I mean, just that level of success, this future, the last 5 weeks. How much are you looking forward to what you and Dobbs and the rest of these guys can build for moving forward and show the future is of this Packers wide receiver?
I think just going forward, I think we've seen flashes from all 3 of us, and obviously we have a lot more growing to do. So I think that we have a lot to look forward to for sure.
Hello and welcome to Total Packers with Matt LaFleur, Larry McCarron, along with the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And Matt, let's cut right to the chase. What can you tell us about your quarterback situation?
Well, certainly Aaron's battling through a lot right now. As we do with most guys, we'll give him the week to see how he progresses, and if he's healthy enough to go, then he'll be in there under center against the Bears.
How did you like what young Jordan Love did against the Eagles?
Yeah, I thought Jordan did a great job coming in. You could tell the moment was not too big for him. And I thought he went out there and just did exactly what we asked him to do. And he played with confidence. He had great command of the huddle. And he went out there and executed, I thought, at a pretty high level.
You talk about being ready when your number is called. He was a perfect example.
Yeah, and I think that is indicative of how he performs every day in practice. He does a great job on the scout team versus our defense, giving them very good looks. And then when given the opportunity to go in with our starters, he does a great job. So not surprised by his performance, but happy for how he did perform.
Matt, you guys actually averaged more per play, 7 yards, than the Eagles did, 6.3. Did you like a lot of what you did offensively?
Yeah, I thought there were some good things. Obviously, we had some opportunities. We had the 2 turnovers, and then there was an opportunity when the game was tied at 20-20 right before the end of the half where we could have taken the lead, and unfortunately got sacked on a play and wasn't able to convert on the 3rd down. And then, punted the ball back to Philly, and Philly was able to score at the end of the half. That I thought was a critical moment in the game.
Was it just me, or was A.J. Dillon playing with some extra juice, for lack of a better phrase?
Yeah, he did a great job. I thought up front we did a pretty solid job of creating some holes, but I just loved the demeanor in which he ran. He was breaking tackles. He was sticking his foot in the ground, being decisive. We always tell these backs to read it one gap at a time, and he was really hitting it downhill and finishing his runs. And I thought he did a great job just running behind his pads.
In the first half, you stop him on 4th and inches. 5 plays later, you're in the end zone. Quay Walker recovers a fumble, has a long run back. 3 plays later, you're in the end zone. When you talk about complementary football, are those the types of things you're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, whether it's the offense setting up the defense or vice versa, you've got to turn those turnovers or takeaways into points, and our offense was able to come through in those moments.
Matt, the Eagles with a ridiculous 363 yards rushing. When you looked at the tape, what'd you see?
Way too many missed tackles. We counted 22 missed tackles, and it's going to be hard to stop anybody if you have that many missed tackles. And certainly there was some situational ball, some 3rd and long situations that don't necessarily have anything to do with the run game, but we can't allow them to convert in those situations to extend drives and give them more opportunities at running the football.
Not to be old-fashioned, but I'm old. How much of it is getting blocked and staying blocked? Is that part of the equation?
You're not that old, Larry. No, I think that is a big part of it. We talk about defeating blocks, especially when you're in those one-on-one situations, and that's what football comes down to, is blocking and tackling and being able to beat those blocks and getting to the football. And we need multiple hats at the football, especially if you're in a situation when you're missing so many tackles.
Rudy Ford starts in place of Darnell Savage. How did Rudy hold up at safety?
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. He was the one that forced that fumble that Quay was able to return, and I just love the physicality and speed that Rudy brings to our defense. He flies all over the field. Certainly we felt him throughout the course of the season on special teams, but he's been showing up on defense as well.
Matt, 6 minutes into the game, you're down 13-0 on the road, and it seemed like most of the night you're crawling out of a hole. How did you like your team's resolve and grit in that regard?
I loved it. I think that's, you find out a lot about yourself in moments of adversity, and our guys kept battling, and we battled all the way to the end. Unfortunately, just didn't make enough plays, really in all 3 phases, to overcome a really good football team in their home environment.
Of course, this week you have the Chicago Bears, and it seems like they figured out what they have in Justin Fields, and it's changed them offensively.
It sure has. They've definitely developed an identity on offense. That's a credit to Luke Getsy and that staff there. Justin's doing a great job, obviously, running the ball at a really high level. It's going to be a great challenge for us, but it's not just him. They've got multiple backs, and right now they're doing a really, really good job on offense.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, Packer guard Jon Runyan. Don't go away. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers, by Bellin Health, and by Johnsonville. Welcome back. This one-on-one is brought to you by Quick Trip and Guaranteed Fuel. John, playing in Philadelphia, where you grew up, where your father, John Sr., was a Pro Bowl player, was playing in Philly, with all that considered, was that a big deal?
Yeah, it was. It was amazing, especially around this time of year, Thanksgiving, just really about family and coming home to Philadelphia. And the game was on my dad's birthday as well, and just a lot of memories flooding back. I remember going to 7, 8 home games a year, sitting up watching my dad and being in the locker room watching his teammates, and they had the Eagles Hall of Fame induction and a bunch of his teammates were back and I got to see them, and they all remember me from when I was a little kid running around the locker room. So it really was a great atmosphere, and I love coming back to Philadelphia.
Speaking of your dad, who is now the Vice President of Policy and Rules Administration for the NFL, and who earlier this season sent you an official letter saying you are fined. Did you ever decide what to do with that letter, and how did that all turn out?
I haven't decided what I was going to do with the letter yet, but I do still have it. It's in my nightstand drawer. Probably going to give it to my mom, let her decide what she wants to do with it. It was funny, and hopefully I don't get another one. I don't need that. I don't need it.
Against Philadelphia, A.J. Dillon's 20-yard touchdown run, you had a nice block on it. And afterwards, you seemed exceptionally excited. You were celebrating a lot. You went down by the end zone and stuff like that. What was the special meaning, or was there a special meaning for that play?
First of all, it was a great run. A.J. really found, he pressed his aiming point and cut it back. And I think that's one of the best runs we've had all year, and that felt really good. And then, just in the moment, we really needed it as an offense. We were down 13 points at that point in the first quarter. Already, I think, 2 turnovers, and it was tough. And getting that first touchdown, being down there in the end zone, I know the Eagles fans didn't seem to care too much about it, and I was just eating it up, and it gave me more energy.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
John, the whole run-pass option thing, you guys do a lot of it. Now, a lot of times it's going to be a pass, but you're not aware of that, so you're just doing your run block, right?
Yeah, that's the thing playing O-line. You never really know what's going on. You can't see what Aaron sees when he's looking at the linebackers and the defensive backs. And you know that it's run when you feel the defenders laying into you, and you can tell it's pass when you see them look away from you and you feel them light up a little bit. There's also a fine line between when you're kind of uncovered at guard and not going downfield for an eligible receiver downfield. So it is a little hairy.
John, in the Washington game, you made the move from starting left guard to starting right guard. Has it been a big adjustment?
I think it was. The first 2 games, I think recently, these last few games, I feel like I've just kind of always been on the right side, but those first 2 games, trying to make the switch over there, especially when I really haven't in my entire career really played on the right side, and feel a lot more comfortable now. It's a lot different. I'd say it's kind of like somebody that likes eating steak. They switch, what side they put the knife in their fork, and that's kind of how it feels. Going to the other side when you're so used to playing the other side.
The whole Packer-Bear thing, are you really into it personally, or is that more for the fans? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I really got into it my rookie year. I remember it was about November in the season. I think we had a Sunday nighter in 2020 against the Bears, and I went in around the second quarter, played the rest of the game, and I really got a sense for the rivalry and how fun it is. And I think we beat them by a fair amount. I think it was around 17, 20, 27 points, and on the QB kneel, I get knocked over, and I just knew right then and there that I just never gonna really like the Bears. It's a fun rivalry, and I always look forward to playing them. It was so fun playing against Sunday night, week 2, and I can't wait to go out there and play them in Chicago.
Welcome back. This week's Chalk Talk is brought to you by Network Health. At Network Health, we do what's right, even when it's not easy. It's who we are. Health insurance is what we do. Kickoff returns are like any other offensive play. Everybody's got a job to do, and if everybody does it, results are good. It's all in the execution. For example, on this return, the Packers have Dallin Levitt and Isaiah McDuffie double teaming, creating a soft spot in the coverage. Now, to take advantage of that soft spot, they have to build a wall here and here to create a running lane for Keyshawn Nixon. Now watch this area over here. Kingsley Enagbare, Tyler Davis, Jonathan Garvin, Josiah DeGuara, and Eric Wilson are splashing Eagles all over the place. Look at 3 Eagles on the ground. That is a wall. The other part of the wall is down here with Corey Ballantyne and Patrick Taylor. Keyshawn Nixon reads it perfectly. It's one-on-one with the kicker, and that's going to be no contest. And Keyshawn is biting and scratching for every inch, and the Packers set up offensive shop on the 41. This may come as a surprise, but I've always thought a good back can do more for a line than a line can do for him, and the same goes for return specialists. It just takes a special breed of cat, and Keyshawn Nixon is a special breed. He is fearless, and he's got a feel for it. Watch this return. He starts by going to his left, and that sucks all the coverage in that direction, and it sets up his blockers. Look at that wall. Now Keyshawn comes back to his right, and he wants to pick up this double team here between Wilson and Innis Gaines. But before he does that, he has to make one miss. No problem. Then he's got the kicker in the open field. No problem. And they finally bring him down from behind. Both of the returns we looked at led to scores. Field flippers, game changers. That's the kickoff return team, and it's a collective effort.
I love the guys on kickoff return. You know, they put me in position to win. I'm not scared to hit it. I'm going to hit it for them. You know, they give me a good block. I'm going to reward them with a good return.
Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Network Health, by your Wisconsin Toyota dealers, and by Spectrum One.
Hey, what's up? This is Aaron Jones, Green Bay Packers running back. And I'd love to give a shout out to all the active and former military service men and women. You guys are true heroes. The reason that we're able to do what we do on a daily basis. You guys make so many sacrifices. I know firsthand what it's like. My parents were military, both of them, and I grew up in a military household, and the military has kind of raised me and set me to where I am today. So thank you for your service. We love you, and we're celebrating you all throughout this month, throughout the NFL. Go Pack, go.
Aaron Jones is always exceptional off the field. Now it's time to reward his work on it. The Pro Bowl Games vote is live until December 15th. Visit Packers.com/Pro Bowl and cast a ballot with all of your favorite Packers. You can also submit your vote on Twitter starting Thursday. Just tweet the player's name or handle along with the hashtag Pro Bowl Vote. Welcome back to Total Packers with Matt LaFleur. And Matt, if we could, let's talk about some individual performances and begin with Christian Watson. 4 catches, 110 yards, and he certainly fills the bill when you talk about a need for speed.
Yeah, he did a great job, and not only on the touchdown reception, but also earlier in the game on a critical 4th down, making a tough catch over the middle. And what I loved about it most is he took a hard shot from Gardner Johnson, and he popped right up. And we always talk about the pop-up game that you have to display as a wide receiver or anybody that's carrying the ball, and he exemplified that in that situation.
He had to know he was going to get lit up big time, and he focused on the ball, caught it, and hung on to it.
Yeah, and that's life in this league. There's going to be some tight window throws, especially in those critical moments, and he came through, and Aaron trusted him and let it rip and made a great play.
Let me think. Last week, at some point, you pick up Justin Hollins on waivers from the Rams. And then against the Eagles Sunday night, I'm seeing him out there sacking the quarterback. That's a great adjustment on his part, getting into the system and getting involved right away.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He took a red eye, got here on Thanksgiving. Jason Rebrovich did a great job with him, spent some extra time with him, and that's tough to do, to get somebody up to speed that quickly and for them to go in there and contribute. That's a credit to Rebs and to Justin for being in the situation and knowing what to do.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, the last word from the coach. Stay with us. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Fabic Cat, proud sponsor of the Green Bay Packers.
Takes a snap, flip to Jones off the right side, makes the turn to the 10 to the 5, end zone, touchdown! Under pressure, scrambles right, he throws deep down the right side, intercepted! And there is your dagger!
Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go! The Packers took it to the Bears in Week 2. The most recent installment of the NFL's oldest rivalry. This Sunday's contest will be meeting number 206. Matt LaFleur remains undefeated against Chicago, winning all 7 matchups. As a bonus, this weekend's victor becomes the NFL's all-time winningest team with 787 victories. The last word with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Construction Business Group and Wisconsin Operating Engineers. Welcome back. Time for the last word from the coach. And Matt, the Bears are not the same team you played in Week 2. They traded away Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn, brought in Chase Claypool from the Steelers. Just a different outfit.
Yeah, totally. But the one thing that you can see that's consistent from when we played them earlier is this team plays with extreme effort and physicality. So our guys are going to have to get their mind right. You know, anytime you play the Chicago Bears, that it's going to be an old-fashioned North physical battle, and that's what we got to get prepared for.
Thank you, Matt. Good luck against the Bears, and thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells